Greetings again, CAD Basics. I am back for the second part and final part of the brick assignment. That first one ended abruptly. I apologize about that. I forgot that I only had a 15-minute limit, and if I stop, I can't actually edit it. So there's some limitations to the free version of this. So I have to get moving for 15 minutes to get this done. So, but that's okay. That was one complete thought. So I didn't mean to end so abruptly with that, the grading of the, looking at the student work like that. That was a little abrupt. Sorry about that. But let me get into this quickly. So we are getting into the CAD for, let's get into it. Just get back to Canvas. So here we are in Canvas, and I am looking at the AutoCAD key commands resource, okay? And that looks like this. There's a longer list. I deleted what I didn't like, so kind of ignore the numbers. And we're going to go through the these documents. And again, I'm going to do this quickly because of the limitation, so expect to pause it. Bring your earbuds so you could listen to this in class. Pause, watch it 2 or 3 times as you work. These are the key commands. You could get a screenshot of that, or you could print that, and I gave it to you actually, but you might highlight and have these written down. Here in the file, this might not be exactly what your file looks like. I don't think, maybe the puzzle is not there, but this should be here. That should not be. This should all be blank. And this is the same document, okay? Same list of things. So snaps and ortho are down here, right? Okay, so that bottom right, these are these 2 buttons here. And I'm going to explain those quickly. So these are key commands. So I'm going to type L for line, and it comes up right there. I could click on it, and now I'm in the line command. So I use the key command, so you have to watch my cursor, that command line that says specify first point. If I click, now I've specified the first point. Now that key command, now down at the bottom down here, it's saying specify the next point. I don't know why it doesn't say that up near my cursor anymore, but it says it down here. So those are the 2 key commands. One travels with the cursor and one's here. So if you're not sure what to do, look at your key command. And I'm going to click again. So it says specify the next point. Click. Specify the next point. And I can just keep going and keep selecting and making lines. And when I select everybody, I've got a lot of lines. And that, so actually back to what I was getting at, more importantly, these down here, so this guy is ortho. If I turn it off, I could move in any direction. If I turn it on, I could only go 90 degrees like that. Okay. The other one, again, L, there's line. I'm just going to hit enter. It's already highlighted in dark. And I know L is the whole command. I'm not going into these other commands that are below. So I'm not even going to go over there. I'm just going to hit enter or space bar. Now I'm in line. Click once. And now as I move over here and I come to approach this line, that green box appears and it says perpendicular. That is right here my snap. And I could turn that on and off, and if I right click on it, I get all the different snaps, and I want to make sure that endpoint and midpoint are on. Perpendicular has to be on. Intersection should definitely be on. And these are those green boxes and triangles. When I come over here, that's telling me, confirming that this line is coming into that one perpendicular, and that's really important. And then I click, and it's done. And then I could start again. Line, enter, and then let's try another one. I'm going to start here, and I'm in the 90-degree world. Stuck there, but if I come over here, At some point, that green box will appear and it says endpoint and the line is going to follow. So the snap is overruling that ortho, and I click, and now they are connected right there. Okay, so it's line, enter. Again, I'm starting it. So I could have this ortho on or not. And then I could come here, and there's perpendicular. Or if I come down the line, there's midpoint, so very close to each other, right? There's perpendicular. And there's the triangle midpoint of that line. So that's 1. That line runs to the midpoint. When I select that line, it's showing me the midpoint, and that's where that line goes. Line, enter. I'll start this line, and there's perpendicular. So now I have a line that goes perpendicular and a line that goes to the midpoint. Line from the same place, endpoint, line, endpoint, or intersection of those other lines perhaps. So those are all the different snapping locations, okay? So that's important. Sometimes you don't want them, you could turn it off, but generally you need them, okay? You will never draft properly if you don't have those snaps on, all right? So those two are critical. We just went through line, rectangle. I'm going to start the rectangle command, REC, enter, specify your first point, select it. Now I am pulling my rectangle and showing it which direction I want to go. I'm just going to click, actually. I'm just going to click. And then I'm out of the command, and then I could just hit the space bar and do it again. I'm actually going back into the previous command. Click, click. And now I'm out of the command. REC, enter, click, click. Back into it. I could start a rectangle connected to that one, and I could come up and join that one. And because I see these green boxes, I know that they are properly connected to the endpoints. Okay? I could also put dimensions in. REC, enter, specify the first point, click, and now I'm pulling it out. But now look down here at this command line. It says right there's a different option, dimensions. I could click right there, or I could just hit D. Nope, that's F. D. And now it's dimension. Enter. So now it's disappeared. I'm going to click. I think I'm still in the dimension thing. Let me see. 6, enter. 8, enter. There I am. Click. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Rectangle, enter, click, pull it. I could pull it over here. I could pull it up. I could pull it in any direction I want it to go. Down at the bottom, D is for dimension. D is for dimension. Enter. It disappears, but look at the command line. Specify the length. I'm going to make it 8. And just write 8, because now that's inches. Enter. By 3. Enter. And I have to click one more time to get out of this command, because I could still go in any direction. Click, and I'm done. Okay, and that is my brick. And then another command. Right there. DLI. Dimension linear. DLI. Enter. Click 1. Click 2, and that's a dimension. And then click 3. Back into the command, so that's DLI. Enter. Click 1. Click 2 and pull away. And that confirms my brick is the right size. Okay. We did those. We did a rectangle. Move. Let's do move. So I want to go over selecting. Very important. Okay, there are 3 different ways to select an object. I could, excuse me, I could get my cursor right on top of it like that and press. That's a lot of work. I can click and pull and make a green box up to the left, and anything in that green box is going to get selected. That's my favorite because it's the quickest. Click 1, green box, and I have all 4 objects. Escape. Click, click, and I got them. The other option is to make a right crossing blue box. And you can see I'm not selecting anything. The blue box only works when something's entirely in the box. Like that. So that's more dragging. The quickest way to get these 5, click, click. That's the smallest, quickest way to do it, just like that. So to get these guys, I would click there, and then if I wanted that, I would go left. So when you see my box is green, click, green box up to the left, I get them, and then I come here, click, and I get it like that. Okay, here, and I get those 2 as well. And I could just keep adding like that. I could hold Shift and deselect. Okay. All right, I have 3 more minutes, and I'm just getting through these commands. I haven't even gotten to the bricks. There's going to be a 3rd video. Move. Move. M. Enter. Select the objects. Let's pick all of these up. Enter. Select more objects? No, I have them all. Enter. Where do I want to pick them up from? This is really important. I'm going to pick it up right from there. Click. And move it to there. M. Enter. Select a box. I'll do the blue crossing box here. I'm going to grab that guy and pull him out. Do I want to select any more? No. Enter. I could pick him up from out here in space. All right, watch, see where I am? And then I move him in this weird fashion. Don't do this. There's no reason to do this, okay? Our assignment will be a mess if you do this, all right? You always should pick something up, move, enter, pick it up by its midpoint or its endpoint, all right? It doesn't make sense to pick things up and move them like that. Rarely, ever, never almost, okay? It's just messy, okay? All right, I have 2 more minutes. Let me see what else I need. I'm going to go over here, Control C and Control V. That's pretty easy. Copy and paste. C. C is for circle. CO is for copy. Copy. Enter. Select your object. Enter. Pick up. Where do you want to pick it up from? It's just it's the same command as moving, except now I get to copy. And it doesn't, usually I don't drop things in space like that either. So I just do Control C. So it could be CO for copy, or you can't see it, but Control C gets me right into it. Enter. I'm sorry. Control C. Select. Click 1. Click 2. Enter. Control V. And there it is. Control C. Select it. That's what I want to copy. Control V. And it has me right at that. It has me picking it up right from the edge, which is nice. Okay. That is about it. There's 45 more seconds, so I'm going to end it here, and then we're really going to get into the bricks in the 3rd video. Okay, but these are the commands you need. All right, I will see you in the next video.